Right, late night in the office and thought I'd just do a little bit of cooking. Not a lot, just a little, but been doing some experimenting and having a play. First of all is roast garlic. This is one that I do a lot. You don't need any special equipment. It can literally just go in the ash on red embers. But I've already got a grill in my fire because I've been cooking some chicken thighs and various other different bits. And I'm going to show you what we've been up to.
I thought I was videoing and I wasn't, so I've had to turn it back on again. And I had put my garlic just down here so that you can see. It doesn't need any special equipment. I don't even need to cook that on the grill. It'll just sit there quite nice. And I'm really not bothered if some of the papery outer burns off on this or not. I've just got a slow rolling flame, if you can see. I'm gonna give that 3 or 4 minutes and then turn it round and do the other side. In fact, what I could do, meantime, is just get a poker, or a poker and a pusher is an easy thing to have. Let me just show you what I call a pusher. When you're cooking, these are really handy. So you have a poker, and I call this a pusher. We do a pusher and a poker as part of a set, and I'll show you why I like my pusher. So when I'm using my pusher, I can pull or push my hot red embers straight under my cooking grill, which gives me fire directly above. And oops, that's the plates down there. I haven't broke them, honest. So that leaves me enough space to maintain a small fire to the side of my stove. And then if I'm cooking something like steak, I want lots and lots of heat underneath. Yeah, it's quite easy to get to, and I can just keep that going. Now, tonight I have been burning some whiskey oak barrels because the pieces are nice and small and they're really handy for pushing underneath. So here's a nice fresh piece of whiskey oak barrel. One of Scotland's finest. And they just make nice short pieces, and they're really hard. They burn hot, but they burn slow, and they give off a massive amount of heat. And that will catch nice and quick. And the stuff that's burnt down quite well is to the side. I might actually fish that back out in a minute because there's something else I want to show you. Right, so fire's burning away quite nicely. My grill's heating up well. My garlic bulb can have a wee turn round. That's going to get nice and juicy and softened. My phone is getting very hot, but we will zoom in. There you go, you can see what's going on there. Now, while that charcoal's finishing off, and before I do my next step, what I've got here is I've got some chicken thighs. That's just a bit of ash off my clothes. So I've got some chicken thighs that I have covered in mustard, just seeded mustard. What you're seeing there is some harissa from the last bits I did. We've done 2 or 3 harissa ones, and now we're going to have a go with some seeded mustard. I'm going to put that chicken straight on my grill, on my fire. So here we go. Just like so. My heat is quite high at the minute, so I'm going to turn that down, and she forgets that your control is hot and she needs her sleeve. So we'll turn it down a touch. And it'll start off nice and quick. And I can actually hear those mustard seeds popping. There we go. It doesn't take too long. It takes longer than you think, but not too long. So I've reduced the heat on that now. If you can see, we get some good colour on there. And grill that off. And that's not too ferocious at all. And the garlic through the glass is just doing its stuff. And the chicken is mighty fine. So my fire is just ticking away just nice. My wood that's been cooking under my chicken is breaking down, so we shall get our pusher. And I can push them underneath and then add some whiskey oak to the side. And with my little tongs, we'll turn over that chicken. So I don't know, I think maybe in total my chicken's been in, I don't know, maybe 6-7 minutes. And my garlic should be ready. So we'll have the garlic out and put it down there with tongs. And it smells very garlicky. And the chicken's looking pretty good. Feels like it should be done. Right, so what we've got here, which only takes a few seconds, is we've got a flatbread, which you can use as is. These are just straight out the packet. I usually cook them from raw, but tonight we're just going to fry it in the fire. And that will quite literally take about 5 or 6 seconds on each side. Not very long at all. Just to char it off and sort it out. There we go, we're puffing up quite nicely. There we are. So here is our chicken. Now that is pink, but it's not pink as in not cooked. This is thigh meat and it's a different colour because it's been smoked or smoky in the residue of the fire. That is not pink, that is cooked right through. It's just the darker thigh meat, as you can see, which is perfectly fine. And this has been cooked just with mustard on it. So what we'll do now is just put, we have got a little bit of mayonnaise here. I'll put a small amount of mayonnaise on there, and a piece of our garlic, which has come out the fire, which will peel nice and easy. Could be done with a minute or two longer, but it's nearly there. It's almost all squishy. There we go. Some of our garlic in there, like that, and the chicken on top. And then we've got some honey mustard chicken. And I've got some smoked salt with wild garlic. There. All ready for a mad friend to try. This is where we make a mess and we both do a taste test, because see, this is honey mustard chicken cooked to the wood burner.
How am I going to hold it and eat it with a with a broken hand? Right.
Not easy. It's called the invention test.
Oh, I like that.
It's rather nice, isn't it?
That
Honey
could be-
mustard chicken for the win. Sounds atrocious, but yeah, it's not.
No, it's not. No, it's not. You turn that off and we'll just make more and
I think we need one each.
have a good time.
So it's amazing what you can do. One of the other things we've come up with tonight is I've got some pretzel rolls. So here's our pretzel rolls. I'm going to do this with one arm. I'm just going to rip the papery bits off. You can get rid of all the papery stuff, made a mess here.
we used, these are giant garlic things at Lidl's. They're actually pretty big. So just take all the papery bits off the outside and you get left with the really sweet, nice stuff off the inside. There we go, there's 2. They come out easy enough. It's kind of a bit of a garlic bread with the difference. So there we've got 3 or 4. And I'm just going to take a fork and mash that up. Now, one thing that I would normally add to this is butter, but we don't have any, and the girls only have Flora. I mean, who uses Flora? It's got to be butter, but I think they've used all my butter and left me with Flora. Now, I saw these cute rolls, they're pretzel rolls, when I was in Lidl's this afternoon. And when you cut them, they look a bit like baked potatoes. So, what we did earlier, and it worked really well, excuse the Flora, is took a couple of big lumps of that and mushed it through with garlic. Now you could add cheese to this if you want. We tried with cream cheese and it was a bit claggy. So ordinary cheese, or I think some mozzarella, would work really well. But that is what you call proper garlic butter. And I'm going to add to that some of my, fingers are all grubby in a minute, some of my smoked salt or wild garlic, which I smoked at home and collected the garlic earlier in the year, and just mushed that through as well. And inside our roll, I'm just going to fill the roll with the garlicky butter. Now, it's not an easy thing to film and show on a mobile phone. Laura's doing really well. So she's impressed. She's being quiet. Laura's never quiet. Are you, Laura?
I'm trying.
You're doing really well.
I'm wondering if I get good and I'm quiet, I'll be invited for more. And if I get good at these videos, then I get to taste the food at the end.
It's good fun.
Quiet.
So make sure that we've got all the floury pattern bits and just wedge some into each. Just like so. And shove it back together. Now, I need to go and get a tissue in a second because my hands are covered in it. Have we missed one? No, we haven't. We've got garlic butter, plenty of garlic butter in each one. Then in a minute, once I've gone and got a cloth to wipe my hands, I'm going to put that in the wood burner and we're going to bake it. So we'll be back in a second. This is the small hellfire grill, not the large one. On a large one, you'd probably get half a dozen bits of chicken, 5 at least in at once. They don't take long on there. A couple of minutes or so and then flip it over.
And that's the one with the whole grain mustard, isn't it,
This is
Sarah
whole
Jane?
grain mustard. There is nothing else on
Did you
that
add a bit of
chicken.
oil to it or
No,
just
no,
okay.
there is nothing on that at all at the moment other than whole grain mustard. No salt, no oil, no nothing. Just straight as it is onto a hot grill with some hot red ember underneath.
And that's really cheap, isn't it? Because that's just a pack of chicken
Well, they
thighs
were-
with some mustard.
They were what, $4.99, something
Right.
like that.
And that was a big pack, wasn't it?
Don't want just well, I mean, they're only what, $4.99 for a big packet, which is a kilo of boneless chicken thighs.
Yeah.
And there's 9 in there, and they're big. So at one each, which is plenty, you honestly don't need any more. It's a cheap dinner. Okay, if you're really hungry, have 2. But you know, it goes a long way. Sliced up with some salad and through some couscous or whatever in wraps. It's astonishing. And what you're seeing coming out the door, I'm covered in mustard at the minute, but what you're seeing coming out the door isn't smoke, it's just the steam coming off the chicken. And we can't smell a thing, and there's no mess.
It's just no mess with it, is it? It's
It
not.
doesn't- it
If
doesn't
you
stink.
imagine doing that in a kitchen,
It doesn't
in a
stink.
cooker, and on the hob, and the smell,
It'd be
and there's no
horrible.
smell, no mess. It just comes
And
out
we're
clean.
cooking in the fire at 10:10 at night, indoors, and it's better than indoor barbecue with a lot less mess. Except I've made a hell of a lot of mess, but that's not unusual. I've like the chef for the blinking Muppets. It's
Just turn it every minute or every couple of minutes.
So how many minutes is that in there for, Sarah Jane?
Till it's done. I have no idea. It
No,
depends
you
on how
just-
hot your fire is. You just kind of get a feel for it, and you feel for the texture of the meat, and it's going to be different temperatures from the front to the back and stuff like that. Right, okay, so it's done more on one side than it is on the other. That's
So
alright.
just keep giving it a turn
Just keep
every
giving
minute.
it a turn every minute or two and just let it do its stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that fire is fine in there, not worried about it. We've got our whiskey oak to the side that I can use my pusher to move over when I need more fuel under it. There's plenty heat underneath. I'm kind of keeping that wood at the minute for something else to do that garlic bread roll that looks
Yeah.
like a potato, which we will do with this on the side. So when this comes out, we'll put the bread roll in just a minute or two. But even when we take that out, that's going to keep cooking. So there's a couple of different things you could do. You could put it in a pan with some tin foil on the top to keep it warm on top of your wood burner, and the residual heat will keep it going gently
Alright.
until it fully cooks through while you cook something else. Or you wait until it's done, and wrapping it in foil will keep it succulent, and chicken thighs just don't
Yeah.
dry out. And you think cooking in there is such extreme heat that would burn them. And
I
it's
know with
not.
your
Is that burn?
No,
it's
I
not
know with
burnt
your
either, but
I know with your tandoori chicken, it is lovely to have as a snack in the middle of the night, and it still just tastes delicious cold.
You
I just
do
put
the,
it in a wrap, and
you
I'm a
must-
midnight snacker, Sarah Jane.
So you must be the one that does your was it Nigella Lawson and goes in and reads the fridge and goes, oh, what we can find in here
Yeah, yeah, I think I think
Scoop it out,
instinctively
tandoori
I wake
chicken,
up
yeah.
and I think I've got that tandoori chicken in there, and my nan's all wrapped up in the film, and it's lovely in the middle of the night. But how lovely to make as an alternative those flatbreads with that chicken.
The flatbreads
When
are good. I didn't know.
to have that just sat in the side of the kitchen, I mean, especially with Christmas coming up, you can't help but think.
See, look at that, isn't that beautiful? So I'll put that down on the hearth. Well, I put my...
And you've slaved at the fire for
Look at this
2
bit
or
of
3
carpet.
minutes.
Don't do the carpet. Right, this is a pizza stone. And you never need to wash them. You can just brush that off. Usually in the sink, not on the floor in the showroom. And the other side, that's closest to the fire, burns off clean. So what I'm just going to do is put this stone in, cold, on top
Yeah.
of my grill. And while that's nice and cold, because I want to bake it, I'm going to put my garlic pretzel roll.
And it goes. And it's incredible. It's so funny because it's just like a jacket potato.
It does look like a jacket potato.
And it's a lovely, we had a little trial of one differently earlier, and it's like eating that lovely crispness with the softness of the inside of the potato.
So it won't take too long in here. Took about 4 or 5 minutes beforehand. I'm pretty sure we had the timer set at about 4.5 minutes. But the fire's to the side. There's a few hot red embers underneath. And there's nothing to be scared of. It's just a fire. You learn to control how much heat you want. If we want to cook pizza, I want that pizza stone hot. That pizza stone wants to have been in there for a good amount of time before I put my raw dough in it. However, when I'm doing something like scones, or we're doing par-baked rolls and turning them into garlic bread or that kind of thing, it's better to put it on a cold stone. And the reason that I put it on a cold stone is it just gives it more time from the bottom and the top so that the bottom doesn't burn with the heat off the cast iron. Now, what we have got to go with our Hellfire pizza grills is pizza peels. And the pizza peels are made to fit the grills, so they come in 2 different sizes. Now, the whole point of this is that you can actually lift that whole stone in and out if it's hot and you want to, straight from the fire, or you can use it to put your pizza in. So it's a multi-use type thing. Let me show you. Go. We don't actually need to take this out yet because it's not ready. But you will see that on my small set, my peel can go right underneath. Or, obviously, it can be used on the grill. And when you're putting a pizza in here, that bit that's at the back is my bumper bar to make sure that I can't push my dough right down the back. Now, as you'll see, there's not the hugest amount of fuel left in that fire. So what I'm going to do for now is get my pusher, put some red ember underneath, and use the small amount of red ember that's left to ignite either a small log or, in this case, another piece of whiskey oak barrel. There you go. And that will catch up, but because the fire is to the side, we're not going to burn it, but it's going to crisp up nicely. Doesn't it just look like a baked potato? Funny, isn't it? Right, okay, so I think our pretzel garlic roll is ready. There we go. Looks baked potato-like, doesn't it? You'd swear that was a baked potato. I can firmly tell you it is not. But it could easily pass as a baked potato. Well and truly. Right, so I just put the chicken back in to do another minute or two, just to warm it back through while we finish that roll off. Because I want it nice and hot. Now just take it out with my tongs and put it on my board. Just like so. There we go. And then we'll slice it all up. So, there we go. We've got our runny honey. Don't mock this until you've tried it. It sounds absolutely atrocious. I promise you it is not. I'll have a good sprinkle of smoked salt. We better put a wee bit on that bread as well, because this stuff is just fabulous. And cut that chicken up, albeit with one hand. That'd just be fabulous, just like that, or in a wrap. And it really needs a sprinkle of some herbs, some nice green bits, but I haven't got any nice green bits out of it. But I've done that just like baked potato. It's amazing. Let me show you how crispy this is. So, there's the rest of our succulent and juicy chicken thighs.
How is that not a jacket potato?
Honey, I know. That just so looks like a potato. It could fool anybody anytime, but listen to this. And it is so yummy and squidgy and garlicky and not potatoey. It's bread. See? Can you see? You're so close. It's too close, Laura. You can't see. It's out of focusing.
Sorry.
We're doing a good job, but it's not the easiest thing in video. What's when you've got a broken arm? Poor Laura. But look at that. Isn't that marvellous? I can only tell you what this tastes like because obviously you've got smelly vision. You haven't got smelly vision, but we had customers in here tonight sharing some food with us and we had a wonderful time. So if you can just imagine, how about that?
I'll try not to get too close.
Yeah, I know. And my nails weren't dirty.
It smells wonderful of garlic and honey.
Oh.
Let's see. I want to hear the crunch.
I need to feed you some now.
Okay.
You probably hear the crunch on the other side. Now you'll hear muffled mumbling. Right. Oh, fun though. Food is fun. Fires are fun. Cooking, it should be fun. It should be cheap. It should be easy. There's nothing fun about hard work, is there? So let's make it easy and tasty.